It's so much bigger than my personal attachment to a portion of this province. It's a loss for the entire province because this is a very valuable area. How do we just flood it? We do not want to lose this precious resource.
This valley has been our home for over 10,000 years, and it's going to continue to be our home. There's no other place I would want to live. Look at it. It's absolutely gorgeous here. Everything we need to survive is here. And not actually even surviving, you could thrive here. It's the Peace River that we're standing on right now. Ancestral lands of the Dunnizal people, which are my ancestors. The West Mowbray First Nations and all the Treaty 8 First Nations have said from the very beginning, we're not opposed to development. What we're opposed to is the unnecessary impacts of it. Flooding of this valley is unnecessary.
The economics are bad just from an electricity user standpoint, an underestimated construction cost, the financial state of the corporation. It could put considerable pressure on all of BC's debt. So financially, it's not a winner. In the length of time it's going to take to build this project, if it goes forward, we're going to see a tremendous change in technology. I don't see why we don't invest in some of that new technology. We're talking about a lot of cost and environmental loss here, where we could show the world what we can do. As came out in the joint review panel recommendations, the project isn't required at this time. The analysis of demand has to be really looked at because the demand obviously isn't there.
I was born and raised in the valley. If Site C does go in, we will lose everything that we have here. The water level is just below our house, and also the proposed highway goes right through our yard.
The Site C reservoir, if it went ahead, would back up both of those draws. And according to BC Hydro's stability impact lines, all those three hills there, they're all going to slide in. They're not stable banks as they are.
I can't live without eating, and if this project was to go ahead, they would be flooding some of the best farmland in the northeast area.
You can grow grain anywhere in this country, but that stuff that you can grow down there, you name it. Fruit, berries, corn. So it's a shame to be growing hay or grain down in the bottom, or oil seeds.
Our property here wasn't affected from the first dam or the second dam. Site C would be a different story. My grandpa, when he lived here in the 70s, BC Hydro had come to his front door. He just said, I'm not selling. I'm not moving until the water's up to my knees. And so now here I am, third generation, 40 years later, and we're still talking about having to fight a hydro dam.
The best case scenario possible at this point would be for Site C to not be shelved, but to be taken off the table and destroyed. We're gonna press on and live our lives and try not to live in the shadow of Site C. Home is the Peace River.
There has to be a new way of thinking. The old way of thinking can't continue to happen.
From an economic standpoint, I can't get myself in favor of it, no matter how we look at it.
We just cherish every morning when we can get up and look out and see that river flowing by, and we'll continue to do that forever, as long as we live here. Be damned if I'm going to walk away without a fight.